welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
So today we're tackling quality management, specifically in project work.
Right.
And look, that might sound a bit, well, maybe dull.
It has that reputation sometimes. But honestly, understanding this stuff can actually make a huge difference.
That's what we figured. So the mission today,
Yeah.
pull out the key stuff, the actionable insights from this guide we reviewed.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive, kind of geared towards PMP thinking,
Yeah.
but we want the essence.
Exactly. Cut the jargon, get straight to what you can use.
So let's start right at the beginning. What is quality, really?
Good question. The guide nails it down pretty simply, actually. Meeting requirements and making sure something is fit for use.
That's the key phrase, I think.
Yeah.
Fit for use. It's not about gold plating every
Right. It's about meeting the actual need. So, okay, how do we really manage that? The guide mentions 3 core processes.
Yeah, 3 main stages. First up is plan quality management.
Planning makes sense. What's involved there?
Well, this is where you define your quality standards up front. What does good actually mean for this specific project?
Setting the bar.
Exactly. And there are some interesting tools mentioned, like design of experiments.
Okay.
It helps you figure out which factors have the biggest impact on quality, so you can focus your efforts. It's quite strategic.
Efficient then.
Yeah. And things like SIPOC maps, supplier, input, process, output, customer. It just clarifies the whole flow.
Getting everyone on the same page about what goes in and what comes out.
Precisely. And the main result, the key output from this planning phase is the quality management plan.
Your quality roadmap, basically.
That's a good way to put it. Your rule book.
Okay, so planning sets the stage. Then we move into manage quality, sometimes called quality assurance.
Correct. Manage quality, or QA. This
Correct.
is more about executing the plan. It's proactive.
Proactive how?
It's about ensuring the team is actually following the standards and processes you defined during planning throughout the project, not just at the end.
Okay, so it's ongoing.
Think of quality audits. They're not about pointing fingers. They're about checking if the processes themselves are working effectively and, well, preventing problems before they happen.
Building quality in.
You got it. Building it in, not inspecting it in later.
Which leads perfectly to the third one. Control quality. This sounds more like the inspection part.
Exactly right. Control quality is focused on monitoring and controlling, checking the actual deliverables.
So looking at the results.
Yep. Using tools like, say, control charts to see if your process is stable over time. Is it consistent? Or Pareto charts, the 80-20 rule, to find the biggest sources of defects if things are going wrong.
So you know where to put your energy fixing things.
Precisely. It's more reactive, verifying that the outputs meet the standards.
Okay, that distinction is clear now. Manage quality assurance is process health. Control quality is product inspection.
That sums it up nicely.
Now, something else mentioned is the cost of quality, or COCOQ. Sounds important, probably involves money.
It definitely does. QOQ is the total cost of, well, everything related to quality.
Everything.
Yeah, the guide breaks it down with a handy mnemonic. PAFE. Prevention, appraisal, and failure costs.
PAFE. Okay, break that down.
Sure. Prevention costs are what you spend to prevent defects, training, good processes, planning. Appraisal costs are for checking inspections, testing.
Right.
And failure costs are what you pay when things go wrong. Internal failure is fixing defects before they reach the customer. External failure is after. Much more expensive.
Okay, so the big idea is prevention is cheaper.
Way cheaper. Investing upfront in prevention saves a lot more than dealing with failure costs down the line. It's a fundamental principle.
Makes total sense. We've all felt that pain, I think. The guide also briefly mentions continuous improvement. Kaizen.
Yeah, Kaizen. Just that ongoing effort, always looking for ways to make processes and outcomes better. It's a mindset, really.
Never settling.
And one last key distinction they make is between control limits and specification limits.
Okay, what's the difference there?
Control limits come from your process itself. What's the normal expected variation? Specification limits come from the customer. What are their absolute must-haves, the requirements?
So process capability versus customer needs.
Exactly. You want your process control limits to be well within the customer specification limits. That's the sweet spot.
Got it. So bringing this all back, whether it's a massive project or just, trying to organize your week better, these ideas, planning what good looks like, making sure you're doing things right along the way, checking the end result, they apply everywhere, don't they?
Absolutely. Thinking about fitness for use and the cost of not getting it right, that can really shift how you approach things. Less rework, fewer headaches.
better outcomes all around.
Definitely. It's about being intentional.
So a final thought maybe for everyone listening. Think about your current challenges. Where does fitness for use come into play?
Yeah, and maybe consider, where could a little investment in prevention, a bit more planning or checking along the way, save you a much bigger problem later on?
Yeah. Food for thought. It's not just about ticking boxes. It's about building a smarter way to deliver value.
Well said.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.